I'm Jeremy Lieboff from Sobell Rhodes. I'm one of the partners at the firm, and we're bringing together these series of videos relating to the current coronavirus crisis. This is like a business toolkit to help people get through what is a difficult time, and there are an awful lot of different things that are out there to help businesses get through the period, and some of it needs kind of boiling down a bit. So things you need to know before you watch this. First of all, this is going to be quick, it's going to be fast, it's headlines, not getting into massive amounts of detail because there is so much detail here, and it gives you an opportunity to just say that's something I need to know more about, and perhaps we can have a conversation or something else that you'll hear me mention later in the video. But let's get on with it. Things you need to know apart from this are that this is correct as at the 6th of April 2020. There's lots of information that's being brought out the whole time, so if you're watching this on a later date, please be aware that if there's been subsequent announcements, I haven't got those covered here. So let's jump straight in. The job retention scheme. What's the point of the job retention scheme? Very simply, the government have pulled this together in order to help employers get through the coronavirus period, because there is a risk that people are going to be losing their jobs. We don't want people losing jobs, not good for the economy in the long term, and that's essentially what this scheme is all about. It's saving people who would otherwise have been laid off. It's a temporary scheme lasting for 3 months from the beginning of March 2020, and furlough basically means that you're on temporary leave. It's a concept we don't normally have in the UK. You maintain all of your employment's rights, or if you're an employer, your team maintain all of their employment rights, but they're not doing any work, and that's the key thing. It's kind of like they're on the bench for a period of time, minimum of 3 weeks at the moment. So we have a look at it as, well, hang on, am I eligible? That's a very good question. All UK employers are eligible. You need to have a PAYE scheme in place as at the 28th of February 2020. It's as simple as that. PAYE scheme in place at the 2020. Must have been enrolled for the PAYE online. Now that relates to their online portal. Not difficult to do. If you don't have one, you probably should try and get one anyway, just because it's a lot easier, quicker, get stuff online. Go and register with the government portal and make sure you get an account for PAYE online. Probably take about a week or two, maybe 10 working days to get that sorted. So go ahead, do that straight away. Need a UK bank account because everything's paid by backs, and it covers any employees who are operating under the PAYE scheme of the employee company, business, on or before the 28th of February 2020. If you have made people redundant since that date, you can re-engage them and then put them straight onto furlough. That's a very interesting point because this is about saving jobs. There are loads of other special rules, there really are, but some of them are to do with apprentices and those who are undergoing training. So if you've got any questions about that, it's best to have a look at it in more detail. Give us a shout and we can talk it through with you. Or, as I say, the special announcement I'm going to make at the end of this video. Company directors, this is the big thing that we've been waiting for. Company directors have not known. Does this cover them? Does it not cover them? What happens with those people who have got small personal service companies that they're running through? Here is what's going to be going on with that. Office holders, including company directors, can be furloughed. That was confirmed by the government over the weekend just gone. A formal adoption of the decision will need to be required. So whether it doesn't matter how many directors you're furloughing, you'll need to make sure it's minuted and it's retained and recorded within the statutory records of the company. Simple as that. Directors can be furloughed and still carry out their statutory requirements under the Companies Act 2006. That is a crucial piece that people weren't too sure what's the deal with that. The answer is yes, you can, but no more than that. It's got to be what's reasonably needed to maintain your statutory requirements. Anything beyond that would probably put the furlough into jeopardy, especially if you do any work that is related to the generation of revenue, the provision of services of the business. That is absolutely a no-no. Furlough is either in or out. So that's the way that it would work. But I need to make this point clear to you. With directors, especially those who are the owner managers of their own small companies or medium-sized companies, doesn't matter. It's only the PAYE element that you can get a grant for in relation to the furlough. Dividends are not counted. They have nothing to do with the furlough scheme. It is purely PAYE only. So the type of salary that you were receiving before this crisis, that's kind of where we're going to be going with that, and I'll get into the details of that in a second. So what support will you receive? 80% of the usual wage cost of the employee. or director can be reclaimed via the grant during the period they are furloughed. There's different rules depending on the type of contract you have, whether you're a fixed term, a fixed salary person or a variable salary, and various other different types of contracts. So, but essentially it's 80% depending on how it's measured for your particular circumstances. You get that, you can reclaim that, the employer can reclaim that during the period that they have got people who are furloughed. The reimbursement will be capped at £2,500 per month per employee. So that basically tells you that those higher earning employees will probably not get as much comparatively as those people who are earning less. Ultimately, this is about making sure that people can put food on the table, and giving them an opportunity that is better than not having any food on the table at all. The scheme is designed to run initially at 3 months, but God forbid, this could happen, that this carries on beyond, then the government do have the opportunity to extend it if they need to. But we hope that this will be, please God, tidied up, and we will be in a better position 3 months from now. Employers can choose to top up an employee's salary. So if you've got somebody who's earning, let's say, £10,000, and you decide you are going to claim back 80%, which is £8,000, you can give them 8,000. 9,000, 10,000, you can do that. The minimum is obviously the 80% that you're reclaiming from the government. The top up is whatever you choose between that and wherever you want to go with it. But there cannot be any work done. It's not like you can say, I'm going to give you a bit extra if you do this piece of work. It's a no-no. Furlough is no work whatsoever. It's as simple as that. I'm aware I've got a line down my face because the sun's shining. There's nothing I can do about that. So if you're staring at it, I apologize. I'm sorry. So what you need to do is staff need to be made aware that they are furloughed employees. And that means that you need to take some HR advice, you need to take some employment law advice, make sure you get this right, because it's this is a change to someone's contract, and they need to agree to it, they need to understand it, and they need to agree to it. You need to be very, very specific and careful with this. Employees must not work or provide any services for the businesses, even if you give the top up. So that's what I was saying just before. Even if you top up their wages, you cannot expect them to do any work whatsoever. In fact, they just can't do any work whatsoever. As I say, furlough, black or white. It's as simple as that. You will need to make sure that once they've got it up and running, the HMRC portal is being built right now. And once it's up and running, you pay your payroll as normal. You do the RTI as normal, employer's pension and all that kind of stuff, all as normal. And then you go onto the HMRC portal once it's been built, and you will then put in there the details of those employees who have been furloughed in order to claim the grant for the money you are due back. Any grants can be backdated to the 1st of March 2020, so don't worry about it if you're saying, look, it's like April the 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever else it is, and I haven't been able to put it into the system. That's because the system doesn't exist, but you will be able to backdate your claim to when your employees stopped work, from when they were furloughed. So if they were furloughed on the 1st of March, fine. If they were furloughed on the 14th of March, then you make your claim from that date. It's when they stopped doing the work. So there's a lot in there. It really is a lot in there, and we know that there's a lot in there. So what we're going to be doing is running some live question and answer sessions for our clients and our contacts, which you should look out for online, because we're going to be trying to make sure we get as many people involved in those as possible, because there's so many different moving parts to this that it's only fair that we give people the opportunity to actually ask the questions directly, maybe have a conversation with some of the other people who are involved. We're going to have our own panel on there to help answer those questions in real life scenarios. But above all, what we're trying to do right now is make sure that people have got the information they need to at least start looking into this properly. So thank you very much for listening. I hope that it wasn't too laborious for you. And above anything else, please stay safe. If you want to contact us at Sobell Rhodes, our details are on the screen. Telephone number 0208 429 8800. I know I spoke fast, but I wanted to make this as short and snappy as possible. So have a good day.